Well, now that we've covered the rat beef, there's nothing else to talk about this week.
None of nuts whatsoever here. I'm getting pretty parched. That was a pretty big talk. Excuse me.
What the is that? I don't know what the that is. What the is a ducky?
Oh, you talking about the beaver? You talking about Bucky? Bucky?
What the is that?
Bucky's. I have learned. I've heard, but I have learned. Bucky's is it's a state of mind. It's a way of living. It's how do you put a label on a lifestyle? Oh man. Oh boy. Bucky's. Let me tell you. So I went to America this week.
Went to America.
I went to America.
You mentioned that briefly earlier.
I did. I'll take the week over here. Yeah. I swung on down to good old Tejas, in particular. So we went to the absolute. I mean, America, fucking America deep.
Fucking yeehaw.
We yeehawed. Yeah. Went down. Hung out with Austin and Skelly V, and I went down actually to get a little bit of ink done. So
really,
I got a tattoo. Yeah. So
what do you got?
Me and Skelly got we got some little Kerbo tats going on my leg here. I put it out on Instagram actually, so you can go to here. Let me see if I can drop the link. Anyway, it's on my Woolly Wools on Instagram. You can check it out. It's the thing I just put up. But I got a little pollo on my leg there. It's thank you. It's the him in the middle of the universe, because the scariest, most terrifying thing is shaped like a friend. It's pollo. Never forget it. That's sacred Kirby geometry. And yeah, want to go do that. Shout outs to Ink by Silver Eye, who did mine at Midgard Tattoo Company. Real cool. I have been through my entire back and spine as my first tattoo.
Mm-hmm. So that was kind of crazy as a first volley.
It was, but it also therefore means that I'm ready for the basic bitch shit that is a fatty ass fucking calf, thigh, or arm, or whatever else, right?
I assume that's like cakewalk by comparison.
Absolutely. It still is not the most pleasant feeling. Some people really like the feeling of getting inked up. I don't like it, but it's still nothing compared to like spine day, right? So now the other thing is, and I feel like I've touched on it a little bit before. The significance of like my back tattoo was very high. I got it for a very personal reason, but I also wanted to get more. And I kind of was like, well, where do we kind of fucking go from here? So this is a nice.
You kind of started at the end.
Yes, right. So let's go backwards to something simple and take it down a notch with the sentiment to some degree. And I also as well like have been waiting as a reward for myself for slimming down, losing weight. I said once I get my body back in shape, I want to get it inked up so that I can fucking look the way I've always wanted it to look. Step one is not be massively unhealthy, and step two is put some cool shit down. So yeah, I got a lot of that I'm planning to do. And this is the first step I'm taking. So I got that done. Yeah, that was again relatively simple process by comparison. It's healing up great. Something about it too that was interesting is like for a little bit of extra detail on some of the thicker black lines, the artist put in some white for some contrast, which I've always wondered about because I've heard people have said like, oh well, if you have dark skin, why don't you just get like white tattoos? Like that way you'll look like a fucking anime character or some crazy shit. And it's like it doesn't work that way. It fades almost immediately, and it also like doesn't glow like the Orochi. You know what I mean? So but it's great for just creating little contrast points in an otherwise like well planned out high contrast piece. So anyway, that was cool. And the what else happened with that? Oh yeah, I had a great time on my way to the airport. Got in an Uber. Got a lady who was doing the thing where it's just kind of like 5 minutes away, 4 minutes away,
Mm-hmm.
3 minutes
Mm-hmm.
away, pulling up
Mm-hmm.
right there. Look for and I was like, okay, that's a lot, but okay, no problem. And got out and was being like kind, almost like overtly so. Like I went to just open the door and she's like, oh no, let me, and kind of like ran in between to like open it for her. And I was like, oh okay, thank you. That's very very nice. I get it, and then got in, and so me and Punch Mom are getting ready to pull off, and goes right down the street, and in this overly polite manner at the first intersection, just blows right through the red light. just
Lit.
just
This fucking rules.
right through it, and turns, and like pedestrians
great.
are walking, and people are, and it's like it's a street.
This fucking rules.
It's a street. People are living life. Cars are coming and going, and like so Punch Mom goes, excuse me, and I kind of looked up and I saw it just as it was going, and she's like, yeah, that was a red light, and she's like, what? She's like, that was you just turned right on a red light, and it was a pretty busy intersection, like, and she's like, oh, I thought it was just a stop sign, and she's like, no, it was red.
Oh, that's way more worrying than I blew through it.
And
that's way worse.
Yeah, and so it's just like, oh no, it's like, oh okay, it's like, yeah, could you please just like be careful about that? That's it's like, oh okay, well here, if you need anything, let me know. Here I
need you to follow the fucking rules, lady.
I've got sanitizer or charge for your battery, whatever, and we're like, oh no, we're good, that's fine. And then he goes, here, well, here's a QR code. If you ever need car service, my personal one, you can just call this number directly instead of through the app, and
okay.
you can
I'm not gonna do that.
So everyone's like, yeah, cool, anyways,
No.
whatever, right? And rest of it goes. So just that's like. Anyway, whatever.
Hey, hold on. Before you continue, did she turn right on a red light or just blow straight through an intersection?
It was not right on a red light, which is the questionable sometimes on the island, off the island thing. It was left on a red light.
Left on a red
across the lane going the opposite way.
That's wild.
The craziest shit. Omega Turbo, like, left on a red light.
Christ, it would have been better to just sail through.
And turbo illegal, not at all the right. No. So yeah. Anyway, we're fucking getting to our flight, so we don't get out, we just go. And whatever, I get out and I'm like, okay, well, take our shit. And yeah, I'm like beyond the fucking insanity of that. That would have been a normal if too polite ride, except for the part where almost fucking just careening off into the abyss occurred. Mm-hmm. So there's a thing where just like illegal driving. That's that is. But it's interesting because like when I was talking to Punch Mom about it, and I was like, yeah, like the last time when I had somebody, in fact, I might have brought it up here, but like I had a driver that was like nodding off, and it was when it was late at night, like between it was bumper to bumper, so he fortunately didn't have far to go between each stop, but it was just like this dude is like straight up just "Ugh." And I'm like, yeah, I'm good actually. Just I'll get out. Hey, cool. I'll get out right here. Thank you. And just like what the fuck, right? So that shit was terrifying already, and now we have this bit where you have this lady doing this with the car. So I'm like, okay, I mentioned to Punch Mom, oh yeah, so last time this came up, I just got out and that was that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So later on, it's like, and she's like, but she's like, hey, well, I said something, and I was like, right, okay, and that's the move. I get it. Although I'm like, I definitely like. I just kind of said, thanks, let me out here. That's it, it's fine. But anyway, whatever, it's my account. We'll see. Later that night, I get a thing that pops up with Uber going, hey, we've gotten a report that says you were caught with illegal drugs in the back of an Uber and you were driving, you were not allowed to be using drugs while sitting in an Uber. That goes against community guidelines. So if this happens again, we'll be banning your account. Just no action to be taken, but just so you know, this is reported. And I'm like, oh, you fucking piece of shit, right? This is what it is. You have no recourse, and how dare we point out that you fucking did some insane shit.
Didn't all you do go, hey, you blew a red?
That's it. But then reporting it on, oh no, you're trying to keep your perfect rating because you're trying to set up your independent business and you're trying to push that whole bit. And how dare someone report some insane shit you're doing, right? The type of brain that thinks it's a good idea to like just go right into like, oh yeah, here, use my private service after I just did that shit is not that smart. So their whole thing is, well, fuck you then. How do I get back at you? Oh, you were fucking drugs, actually. That's what it was, because there's nothing else. My profile is fine. I don't, I have nothing else on it. So it's just like, so yeah, you get this automatic message that pops up. So I'm like, hey, can I, like, not have some bullshit on my account? Because this lady's lying. Her account, she's clearly just trying to take revenge against the fact that I reported her for for running a red. And she's just trying to lash out and punish me for doing that. So like, can I get like this not as a stain on my account where I have a fucking one strike to get banned thing? And they're like, so we don't just take one side of the story. We can thank you for giving your side, and that's noted. However, that's it. Thank you for telling us. There's nothing else to do at this time. And you're just like, oh, you fucking okay. So the problem is speaking up. Actually, when that shit happens, the move is to just leave it, and like don't even give them the ability to think of you as a person that they can then go back after and target later, right? Because when the person who was fucking sleeping, when that happened, I dealt with that. It was like, okay, I could have been one of any customers that day. There was no targeted retaliation versus pointing it out and putting a fucking mark on you, And it only happened hours later that day. So well after she would have seen the response.
Right.
So that's fucking crazy that's a thing that can happen.
There's only one solution to this, Woolie.
Uh-huh.
You got to get your L. So one of the things that I've been doing my week is I went and got my driving packet from the insurance, and there's only one thing of note. I'm planning to try and get my L this week or next week, probably next week. And I'm reading through my driving package. It tells me all the rules, right? And I'm reading this about what to do when you drive, how to drive car, right? And Paige is, we're hanging out with the baby, and I keep doing this thing where I turn to Paige and I go, do other people know what's in this book? Because what I'm reading in my learner's permit package about how to drive does not gel with my life experience being in cars and watching other people drive.
Yeah. I mean, if you're somebody who like, there's because I feel like there's the person who reads it, has it all fresh. You're a fresh student, you've got it all, and you're overly concerned almost, right? You're overly cautious to a degree. And then there's the person who's like, I've been riding my dad's fucking hot Civic since I was 14 or whatever, a kid, unofficially regardless, and this is just a formality to go get it later on, you know, and they're already just kind of like rolling with whatever they're accustomed to. But yeah, that certainly is one way to deal with that. It fucking just sucks to have that, like again, if you've got no retaliation ability whatsoever.
I mean, you actually absolutely have huge retaliation ability, but you shouldn't.
Sure.
Not the way that you could.
Yes, perhaps no meet the Uber driver like track to be dropping this week, immediately followed by not like us. But it's so fucking, people like that, man. Like that's the shit that just gets in your fucking craw, because it's like you get very far in life being that piece of garbage, right? The type of person who just does the absolute worst, is 1000% in the wrong, but just never acknowledge it. And also, if anyone else dares to point that out, how dare they? You know? Anyway, so that was fucking great. Had that. I'll see whatever happens. But I mean, hey, if it's been a fucking decade of that report not ever popping up on my account, hopefully that doesn't happen again. But like, we'll see what this leads to if another piece of shit gets encountered at some point.
What a fucking bitch.
It's crazy. And that just makes me like double down on, like, because I made a joke with Punch Mom about just like, oh, it's not your account, it's mine, haha. But I'm like, no, actually, don't even, like, telling the person is actually like the wrong move. The right move is to get out and then just deal with that shit later.
Or go crazy.
Or that.
Or go crazy on it. But I mean, depends how you want to live your life.
Yeah. Just tweet it at them. Yeah, I wouldn't. So if I got actually banned, then I would like take it to that point. At this point, it's just like, they said there's nothing really there. There's no invisible. I can't see the one strike of two anywhere or anything. So who the fuck knows? Anyway, all right. So in Texas, speaking of being on the road, so that was one thing, and then the other bit was just like looking out the window and Punch Mom's taking a nap, and I'm like, wake up, look. And she's like, huh? What's going on? It's a fucking Cybertruck.
Oh my goodness, you saw one.
In the flesh, right up, driving up. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna record that shit.
Those motherfucking things got recalled.
Recorded that shit, saw it, and she's like, oh God, oh wow. And she's like, Jesus Christ, she's like, you scared me. I thought there was an accident. And I'm like, there's about to be. Yep. Right, okay, yeah. So, it's like, where is he going? Hopefully the fucking recall center, because but it turns out that where it was going was the same place we were going, which was over to Top Golf. And so that's where I took a picture, posted up, bless, survived taking a picture next to the Cybertruck. I couldn't tell whether or not it was locked into sixth gear, like just that extra gear shift at the bottom of the pedal. But they pulled up there, and I went to a golf driving range. It was pretty fun. I have not.
You been to a driving range before?
So no. However, this is the weirdest thing. This sentence is so stupid.
Okay. I'm ready.
I took golf in college.
What? You did?
Yes. So, as part of when you're doing your electives and you're taking different things, you could choose what kind of classes. And one of the classes,
Dawson had a fucking golf elective.
There was a golf gym class that you could choose. So I picked golf, and I was like,
"Where did you go for that?"
To the gym.
Wait, you fucking hit balls in the gym?
It was a lot of classroom learning about golf, and then there was hitting the balls in the gym and working on the swing and the putt and the different elements. Yeah.
It's bullshit. No, driving range is totally different. You want to launch that shit.
Exactly. But this is what I took, and this is where I learned about golf, So Seeing that on the list, I'm like, that seems crazy. This is so far outside of anything. This is so far outside my wheelhouse of what I expected classes to be in college, and I'm like, yeah, fuck, why not? Yeah, let's go nuts. Let's see what that's about, right? There was also, I want to say, there was a cooler class that was like, I think there was an MMA type training thing that was already taken. So yeah, I did a fucking golf class, and kind of just learned about the form and the putting and the swinging and the 9-irons and all that shit. Anyway, that was like 20 fucking years ago. So when here, I don't remember any of that shit, but it's a lot of fun to just swing and fucking hit a ball as far as you can into the distance.
Oh yeah, man. Every night, like, even if you're a total amateur and you fucking get that one good swing and you launch that shit a couple hundred yards, oh, it rules.
Yeah. I didn't pick golf over MMA. The MMA class was full. I couldn't get in. It was
because Crazy Alex was in there. He took the last spot.
He literally was. He literally was. Yes. So anyway, that was fun. Yeah, like, there's a whole lot of fucking just pathetic ass, like, little, you swing super hard and watch it go, right?
Yeah, and then you're like, oh,
everyone saw, right? Or you can do the little trick, which is like, do a really horrible swing and whiff, but just pretend it was a practice.
Yeah, man.
Almost got it. Hold on, let me just.
Like, as long as you don't just bury the thing into the dirt and bend your fucking rod, you're fine.
Yeah, and when you're on the second floor too, like, there's a little net that you can fall over and, like, try not to eat shit and get saved. So.
Oh, you did the second floor on the.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun, but it's scary.
It's a little scary, but it was cool. But yeah, no, I managed to, like, hit it pretty far a couple times, and that felt good. It was like that's the type of thing you can do with a lot of open space. I will say, like, in a giant state where you have to drive super long to get anywhere and do anything, and there's not a whole lot of, like, walking around. When you need to capitalize on open space, something like that is very possible.
Yeah, dude, driving ranges are so much fun, but they represent, like, the absolute worst part of fucking macho golf mentality stupid shit. Where it's like, man, I can look at how big my fucking driver is. I can launch this shit 300 yards. Oh, great. Okay, Dad, your putting sucks. You blow like 5 fucking strokes on the green. You get the green in 1. Wow.
This is also set up for, like, very casual, sort of, like, easy going, like, mat rounds, because it's like bowling where you pick a lane and then you just, you can order food and just sit there and play.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to bring your own clubs or anything. They've got a bunch of the clubs there that you can just grab and go, and then you can order food and then just sit and swing. And they had all these different games you could play on it too. So I managed to. There's one of the games we played where I managed to win. It was pretty sick. I got the points, and I was like, yeah, I can do this. And then there was, like, an Angry Birds one where you're swinging the ball at a virtual Angry Birds tower. And,
I don't know about this.
And it detects where the ball is going and knocks over the structure so that you can see Imagine just flinging an Angry Birds game, except when it flings out, it's where you swing, So it corresponds to the targets that you swing at.
Yeah, golf's lame as fuck, but it's actually fun to play.
Absolutely.
It's really chill.
Exactly. And that was my takeaway from the class that I took too, was like, oh wow, this is a lot funner to do than it is to watch.
Yeah, I want to hang out on, like, a nice park and drink beers and ride around in a little cart and then hit a ball. It's fun.
So yeah, that was dope. Checked out. They have a thing called Cidercade down there, which is it's an arcade that is also a cidery. That's my shit. I love
that. Is about as obvious as I could have been. Like that. Like, part of me expected there to be more twist than it literally being exactly what you said.
I love cider. I love arcades. It was exactly that, and it was a great time. Not much else to say. There is a board game that was a lot of fun, and just like this thing that is there's a lot of times where I'm like, yeah, I want to try out a bunch of board games, and I hear about cool shit, and I've gotten a bunch that I want to like plan to do maybe stuff in the future with. But setup and onboarding is always really treacherous. You know, I talked last time when we played some games with the neighbors as well about like, I was like, yeah, that was a lot of fun, but boy, you have to really kind of be in. And a lot of the times too, if you're a board game person, you know, the more complex things are, the more you kind of enjoy it. Like that's where a lot of your fun is kicking in. But there's a game we played that was so simple and so fucking good, and the premise is this. It's called Monster Voice, right?
Off we go.
Have you ever seen the cartoon All Real Monsters?
Yeah, I've seen all real.
Remember those
monsters,
little freaky, fucking weird, hairy things and all the.
Yeah,
little...
I remember that freak. Yeah, I got him.
Okay, all the monsters in that. Imagine little like shitty kids' drawings of monsters like that, right? And you have them on little cards. You put 9 of them down on the table, and then there's a phrase. Everyone has to do a voice of one of the monsters' drawings on the table, and you take turns trying to guess which monster voice you're doing.
Ah.
So, you know, you see like one little flat, weird, goofy one. There's a little robotic short weirdo. There's one that's kind of like Bubsy, but he looks like he's dying, right? And it's just simple. You just try to make dumb monster voices, and people have to figure out which character you're doing. Great. Solid. Real fun. If they guess correctly, you get a point, they get a point. And then you and then you continue taking turns. I definitely vouch for this. And the drawings are fun. They're little good, cute, simple monsters. Okay.
I looked it up and can't find it.
I think you have to get it straight from the official site. And you know, as long as it's available. I got mine right away. It's one of those things where as soon as I did that, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ordering this. Because a bunch of shit that like fucking that happened like multiple times where I'm like, I'm getting this game. That was great. Played a little Rock Band. I'm like, I miss Rock Band. Let me get that new guitar. Sure, it's in Fortnite now apparently. And yeah, that was cool. And there is some stuff that's down in Texas. Like there's a place we went to called the Truck Yard, which apparently there's a lot of these things. Because last time I went to like a barbecue kind of spot, and I kind of saw what that was about. And this is just kind of like a bunch of. So remember that fight? Remember the Mariah fight in Stardust Crusaders with the fucking planted Cadillacs in the ground? Imagine that on purpose, just as if it were a Shinto shrine. But instead of the gates, instead of Torii gates, it's planted Cadillacs and cars.
And they say Americans have no culture,
right? It was so weird to walk down a path of an open park and just see all that, and then you're in a little yard where there's a bunch of food trucks, there's a bunch of beer stops and stations, and a bunch of chairs and things that are made out of car parts. And you
that's great.
And you sit on car parts while you drink a beer, and you have, whatever you're having. Some barbecue, some pulled pork, some tacos, some sausage on a stick, whatever the case is. And you're just fucking, that is America happening. Yeah, and then someone's playing live music, because of course they are. I was like, damn, okay, I see, this is a thing. It was a fun chill vibe, and that's a nice place to just kind of spend a Friday night or whatever. And then I went over to Austin, and that's the busier town, and it also just happened to be Cinco de Mayo weekend, which I've always heard about but didn't really know like kind of much of the deal. Since
apparently it means the May 5th weekend.
Yeah, and apparently it's kind of just this, like, it's a thing where like, yeah, most Mexicans kind of really don't give a fuck. Like in Mexico, they celebrate their Independence Day on proper Mexican Independence Day, which is not Cinco de Mayo. So it's just kind of like a sort of a touristy white getting drunk bar hopping thing. So it's like, yeah, there's not there's like, it's like, yeah,
listen,
you
the
can.
4th of July is 2 months away. I need to get drunk now.
It ain't. It's not. It's totally just this. It's not the thing that they care about. Which I learned as Sheena explained. So yeah, I went to go hung out with Sheena, and
I hope she's well,
doing well, and checked out the Cidercade on that side as well, just to see how that was doing. And then after multiple times. I've when I went down to the Florida convention the other day and got the beaver nuggets delivered, and I got the Hatsune Miku, but it's a beaver logo Buc-ee's thing. I'm like, dude, what is this religious experience people are saying? You have to go to Buc-ee's. You have to go to Buc-ee's, right?
Yeah, what's up with Buc-ee's? I don't get it.
So, of course, so Sheena's like, yeah, you got to go to Buc-ee's. So we're like, all right, let's go. And you get in and you drive, and it's a ways out because they're always like they're not in the cities. They're a little bit further out from the city. And you walk in, and it's like, it is just the most. It's the ultimate consumer experience. You think about consumers, and you pull up to this giant fucking parking lot, and there are 50 gas station pumps going into the horizon. And all, like, just imagine a gas station, but there's just infinite pumps, and everyone's getting their gas there because that's how you do it. And then there's this little fucker, this little beaver, Bucky, is there on everything, and he's inviting you to the ultimate consumer experience, which is walking into something the size of like a giant Costco, you know, but with no tall dividing barriers or aisles. You just feel like you're looking at like a football field ass fucking like shopping experience. It just goes. The back wall is way the fuck over there. It's insane. And everything they sell has their own brand on it. They have their own branded fucking cup, shirt, whatever you need. What? It's all Buc-ee's oriented, and it's like they make their own. They have their own snacks, which are these beaver nuggets I described, which are like the corn pops. They have a wall of every kind of candy, of every kind of, you need like 18 kinds of trail mix. They got you covered on that. The bar, you can walk in and say, hey guys, let's have a barbecue, or let's go camping, and you can drive up there with no camping gear whatsoever, and then get all of it there, and then pull out, and there's no problem. They have a million kinds of jerky. But then, fuck that, there's the actual fresh jerky counter where they're making it right there, or you can get like the, you know, flavors as fresh as it gets. Right next to the barbecue, pulled pork, you know, whatever sandwich counter. And then in the back, if you need to get tactical, you can go with your Buc-ee's tactical, where they have their fucking like hunting salt lick, like deer attracting things. And I mean, dude, I sort of got like, here, let me just, give me a minute.
This looks like, it looks like the inside of a South Park episode.
Yeah, I
don't understand.
When you go to Buc-ee's, man, you can, like, so here is a I got.
Why are so many people in this video I'm watching wearing flags?
Oh yeah, we got our Buc-ee's rash guard over here. You know, American flag, full camo, and the goddamn beaver.
Why camo but also flag?
You know why.
I don't.
Right? I got me my proper mug. I got me my sip. We're doing it. It's all there. The beaver's everywhere. The beaver himself walks out. I took photos. Me and Bucky.
Is this only in Texas?
It's mainly in Texas, but it's starting to spread out, because I remember hearing about it when we were in Florida, and there was someone in Florida that was like, "Oh, you got to go." But it's mainly a Texas thing. They're spreading out though. They're starting to move it out. You know, and so I'll tell you, I didn't go down with a bag that I planned to come back with, but when I acquired this one, I'll tell you when they got my attention. As you look over there, this is when they got my attention.
What is that?
This is a Delta kite.
Oh my fucking god.
This is a Delta kite with Bucky on it. Motherfucker. I got a new kite for the collection. And that's ready to go. So, you know. It's the realest shit. Now, here's the thing. Everything they have, there's a sign on the wall that says, like, they're world famous, right? They're world famous cotton candy. They're world famous roasted nuts, where they've got them right there, right? World famous bathrooms.
World famous bathrooms?
The place is notable for many things. One of them is that the bathrooms are the cleanest, the biggest, the most spaced out, with tons of individual stalls, tons of urinals. Every sink has all its own amenities that you would need to dry, hand wash, sanitize.
This is a wild claim.
Goated bathrooms, the likes of which I've never seen, that mean you never even have to remotely even like see another person, almost the way it's set up. It's like you do, but it's like there's so you never have to touch anybody or like get close to, you know, the bumper to bumper traffic you can get at conventions sometimes, right? There's a lot of times I remember like getting in line at like a PAX bathroom or some shit where you're just butts to nuts squeezing sideways across, you know, to get in and use a stall.
I have literally fucked my ass up by having to deal with like a bad public bathroom. You just run into a situation where like, you know what, I'm just gonna hold it, and you do that enough times and you have a problem.
They actually like have, as a major point, is big, spacious, clean, awesome bathrooms that are always like kept clean, right? And it's again the ultimate in consumer. And walking in, I'm like, you know what? I fucking get it. I now I understand why everyone's like, no, you gotta go though, right? Like you have other like again, Japan will tell you go hike this mountain, get to a shrine, and see the view at the top. America's like, go shop at fucking Buc-ee's.
Drive up to a big gas station because everything's bigger in Texas.
Stand next to the truck with the logo on it. You're gonna want that shit, you know, and sure enough, you absolutely do. So yeah, no, that was it. And you know, also on the way out and in, there's a sign right there that says, "Hey, we're hiring. Here's all the positions. We pay a higher rate than a lot of other places. Here's exactly what each position pays." Which is,
that fucking rules.
And if you want to get a job, just call us. And it's like you just see like, yeah, from beginning to whatever, assistant manager, and then the actual, you know, thing. And it's just like, yeah, if you want to make your way and get paid, possibly like you can get to a middle position there and get like a 6-figure digit or something like that. Like it was just like, oh shit, they just straight up tell you what every position is. So wow, wow about that. Nice little detail there. Yeah. I feel like I've seen the light, and that's why I'm currently enjoying you know, my Buc-ee's t-shirt. And I've, of course, when I want to go swimming, you know, you gotta buck up. So we're good to go. And I'm now interested in seeing where else I could find a Buc-ee's. And you know, I heard that the one I went to was a particularly good one. So I'm gonna temper my expectations a little bit, but if anything, I'll just enjoy it all the more when I get to the next one. But yeah, knuck or buck, baby, knuck or buck.
Oh, I hate that.
Oh shit!
I don't like it.
Yeah, the ultimate consumerism experience is pretty strong. And you know, that kind of is more or less the bit. I mean, it was also, again, just to reiterate, wild to be having this experience while Kendrick has been dropping throughout this entire time, and just everybody out on the streets and catching it, playing, jumping in, you know, and it's like there's a moment of everyone like, oh, hey, he dropped again, what, you know? And again, I fully took advantage of the fact that I'm like, I am Canadian. I can tell you what it's like. You know, we are not behind that.
A lot of people don't like Drake.
So yeah, shout outs Tejas. And you know, I was curious, so I took a little walk down. There's a 6th Street is kind of like the main spot that is like, hey, there's a bunch of fun things you can see, and also keep your head on a swivel, and also don't be there late at night, and also World Star, and also You know what? Maybe consider staying on one side of the map and don't go past this point and yada yada. And I kind of went and saw there's like a bit of a street festival that was going on, and a little bit of like walking and shop and like, oh, you can shop and there's some tents set up in the streets, and that was all nice. And then I got one block after that ended. I walked just across the street and saw a gas station fight going. And I was like,
Hell
and
yeah.
there we are. That's what I was looking for. And I was like, okay, we did it. We got it. But yeah, it was nice. It was fun, and of course throughout this, bunch of places that were recommended to go eat as well. I had some good food all around, and that happened in the background too. So yeah, fun stuff. Good trip. Shout outs to Sheena and Austin and Skelly V and stuff. And yeah, that was my big America trip. This tattoo is healing okay. It's crusting a little bit, but that's normal.
It's supposed to do that, right?
It's supposed to do that. And that's pretty much the deal.